One of the most frustrating parts of DIY is rarely the job itself. It's actually trying to do it in bad lighting. Garage, loft, under the sink, outside at night. Bad lighting just makes those simple jobs so much slower and messier and more frustrating than they need to be. I'm Dan, a DIY dad who's always fixing or building something, thank you to my wife and kids, and after years of balancing lamps and holding my phone torch in my mouth like an idiot, I finally made one simple upgrade to my toolkit that has changed everything. So for years I have balanced lamps, I've dragged extension leads around the house, worst of all I've been using my phone torch. They work, but it's awkward, you get shadows and everything, you're constantly adjusting, your phone slides and falls over. That's when I realised something simple. A proper cordless work light should just live in your toolkit, every person's toolkit. Not because it's exciting or cool, but because it is just so helpful for almost every job. Okay, now I'm a massive fan of Ryobi. I have a lot of their tools. This is not an official Ryobi product, but it is compatible with the ONE+ 18-volt batteries that Ryobi provide. Just clips in exactly the same. Happy days. Okay, the brand itself is not really the point. Okay, lots of different brands have their own lights to pick from. The point is the improvement you get from actually having one of these lights. Okay, a portable cordless solution. Okay, and I've got 4 benefits that I want to highlight to you now. First, visibility, okay? Really simple, but you can angle the head by, in this case, just literally manually moving it with your hand to point the light exactly where you're working. No weird shadows, no guessing, okay? You can just see constantly exactly where you need the light to be, so you can complete the job nice and quick. Which brings me on to second, speed, okay? You're not stopping every few minutes to reposition a lamp or pick up your phone that's slid down, okay? You can just point the light exactly where you need it, and it will just constantly be shining the light exactly at that point, okay? Which brings me to the third point, safety, okay? When the light is pointing and you're doing the job, you can see where you're cutting or you're drilling or you're wiring, okay? You can check that the tool isn't near a finger or a thumb, okay? Much less likely to actually hurt yourself or to hurt another part of the house or the project, whatever the job actually is that you're doing. And fourth, flexibility, okay? I use mine almost 99% for DIY, but torches have other great uses as well. And it's worth just bearing that in mind, whether it's a power cut at the house or you're being outside at night, camping, whatever, okay? Once you have it, you'll find a ton of different reasons to actually use it. If you've made it this far, please consider leaving a like, let other people know that it's got some good information in it, and maybe consider subscribing. It means a lot. But next, what I want to do is talk about some of the features of the light itself, okay? Because lots of brands will have their own version of a light like this, but because it's quite a simple product, it is a torch, the reality is actually the features of all of those different brands is generally quite similar, okay? They're all generally quite small, lightweight, compact in design. A lot of them will have a rubber grip, okay, which is typically non-slip as well. A lot of them will have an adjustable light head, just like that, so you can angle the light exactly where you need it. This particular one, which I'll leave a link in the comments down below if you want to have a look, has a red button on the back, and if you press it once, you get half the light. Press it twice, the other half the light. A third time is all of the light, and then a long hold to turn it off. Now, as I say, the power of the torch is not the feature or the brand, it's actually the convenience of having better extra light on whatever job it is you're doing. I actually use this when I have daylight because I just find it easier, more convenient to have this on. But there's a ton of use cases where you don't have the light that you need. You're in a garage, in an attic, you're working in a cupboard or under the sink, or you're working outside in kind of the evening, dusk or night even. There's a ton of use cases where I think this is a fantastic piece of kit that everyone should have as part of their DIY home toolkit, okay? Hopefully this video has been helpful, and until the next one, have a good day.